Okay, let me give you a briefing on working with the character on 3D Studio Max. Okay, I'm pressing Control R here to rotate around my character, and we have imported the default mudbox shape. Okay, you can work on that one. The idea is to save you time. If you do have a model that you would like to use that you created yourself on a previous class and you want to work on the texturing for this class, feel free to do so. We might need to work on the UV mapping a little bit more in depth, so I'll help you through the process on that one too. But let me show you how to use with the Paint Viewport tools, which is one of the things that I would like you to try out. On the tools menu set, go to Viewport Canvas. Let me turn mine off so that you can see how it works. Okay, and you'll see it here. I just nested it here on the right for easy access. Just clicked and dragged it real quick to this part here. And that way it's always there. You can leave it floating if you want to. It's up to you. It's a personal preference. Let me show you how this works. You can actually paint different maps, okay? With your character selected, click on the paintbrush over there, which is the little brush. You can paint any of these attributes, and that is directly to the character on the scene, which is one of the beautiful things about using Viewport Canvas. And the reason why I want you to try this method here is so that you can see how, as you paint, the UVs correlate to what you're doing here. Okay, it's very easy to do, and you can always refine it in Photoshop later with if you're using a photorealistic texture map. But at least here you see how to use it, do it on the viewport. Okay. So you got your diffuse color. That's the color, the attribute that we're gonna paint here is a diffuse color, and leave the defaults 512 by 512. And on Save Next New Texture 2, let's see. I made a little test here to make sure it was working properly, and it is working. So I am going to make on my desktop here a new folder, and I'm going to call it Viewport Paint Textures. That way I know later where my textures are going, okay? And then from there we map them on 3D Studio Maps, and it's very easy. On the file name, I'm going to call it Character Diffuse Map and save, because that's where we're going to save the color information. And RGB, then keep it on the the plenty of colors that we have there, and say OK. Okay. And now we're in the tool. Okay, once you do that, you have set up a map to work on it. Don't get confused by the workflow just yet. Notice that when I click on and off, you're going to see a change on the character. Whenever you're painting, the character will highlight on the whatever color you have selected. And whenever you don't have anything selected, the character will kind of look like the default standard guy, okay? This character already has UV mapping done, and we haven't set up that yet. If you notice, it's just an editable poly. So I went here in the Modify tab and set it as an editable poly. So make sure you go to Modifiers, UV Coordinates, and click on the Unwrap, so that you see how the UVs are laid out already for you. So if you open the UV editor right here, you're going to see the UVs nicely laid out. You have the head. I believe this is the one of the arms, the chest, the legs, and the feet. Okay, the feet are over here. So you have them nicely done for you. You don't have to worry about that for this part of the class. So you can proceed to the coloring that you want to do. If you did want to use a photorealistic texture, just get this to Photoshop, right? You can go and render the UVW template here from this one, and render, and then you can take this UV snapshot to Photoshop and start laying down the picture